What's up, y'all? LTJ Regis here. This is Throwing Light. And if you're not throwing light, you're not acting right. Before I get started, I just want to remind you guys I'm going through this reinvention. And for you to experience this reinvention, I need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get all these Throwing Light interviews. Go pick them up. We're getting close to the 150th episode of Throwing Light. We are
Wow.
just a few episodes away. And guess who's going to be the special guest? Yours truly. For the first time, you're going to actually have a sit down with me. My Sash grandson, Graham, is going to be hosting, and I am going to tell you all the tea. I know a lot of y'all been seeing drama and all that type of stuff. I'm going to tell you about everything I've going on, but this will be the first time that you really get an opportunity to know me as a whole person and just exactly how much I do. Besides that, I do remind y'all that we started the Throwing Light Tour. I finished up New York in January. We'll be in San Francisco next month. You can find all the tour, all the ones in Texas, and we're going to keep building up on this to try to build unity. And then there's going to be some cool projects that I'm working on that are personal to me that you will have access to at my YouTube channel. So please, please, please follow this. Either you can, if you're on Instagram watching this, my YouTube link is down there, or if you're watching it from YouTube, just go and subscribe, smash that button. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We have Legendary Onyx, Leatherman of Color 2025 in the house or in space, if you can be right. Chicago, cold.
Um, it's not that cold. It's in 30s.
You know what? Just because I've been in 8-degree weather this year already in New York, I'm gonna say that's all right. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, I, I
31 is 40 degrees colder than I want it to be.
so in January it was negative 25 degrees with the wind chill.
How, like, are people happy? Like, how, like,
Oh no, no, no. But like Chicago is a city where similar to New York, where even though it's negative 25 degrees, we don't shut down. Like
yeah, y'all
our
going.
our system, our train system's still going. It's just running a little slow.
No. I hope Jussie Smollett's not getting a Subway sandwich anywhere. I wasn't even think I was going to say that, but I'm glad I did. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Why don't you tell everybody how you got involved in the community?
Actually, I went to a nude event. Um,
Outside?
no, 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 no. I went New Year's Eve. I went to a nude event and I met Mufasa, Voodoo, and Cheshire at the event. And Voodoo and Cheshire was like, "You should come to a bar night." I went to a bar night, and while there, um, I didn't know anything about the leather life except what I saw on TV. Honestly, as a kid, I watched Real Sex.
Oh,
Oh,
baby. Whoa, I wasn't expecting to hear about that. I had completely forgot about Real Sex. I remember, but look, that used to come on HBO.
yes.
When I was a kid, I would put it on there. Just hope I had that remote real quick so I could change the channel in case my parents. Yes, they got up
Oh
to.
no, I
Yeah,
watched it on like volume 10,
yeah. I
just in case my grandparents came downstairs.
own that return to next channel button just
Yep.
for it. All right.
Uh,
So you watched Real Sex, and what happened?
while watching it, I saw things about the leather life, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Fast forward, 2018, I went to um, the nude party and was invited to a bar night. Um, then October 2018, I actually went to an event and Voodoo volunteered me to do a demo. And so the demo, I was a demo bottom. We did, um, what did we did? I was blindfolded, had music in my ear, wax play. I was tied up, food play, and all in the same demo. Like and some impact all at once,
all at once.
like within an hour period.
Okay. And what
And
did you discover and learn?
my nature rose.
Okay.
Um, my dick got very hard, and I wanted to release the demons.
Okay. Okay. I think you might be the first person to say dick on here. So like, I don't know. I think that'll fly. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, but for a lot of people, King opens door and it opened it up to community, obviously. And I think that's kind of the underlaying of that. You were able to find something and explore who you are. Um, so what I do, I want to focus on that community aspect. Like what made you feel included or a part or able to it's not easy, especially if you're in a demo position to put yourself on display like that. And I'm not hearing, you didn't say anything about like, we're kind of starting with this. So it feels like to me, like you jumped into the pool and just went with it. And that kind of got you where you were. Like a lot of people are scared and have to work up to that. That was like your like release who I am, welcome to the community moment.
Well, it was because of my community, to be honest. Like, uh, when your inner circle just says, okay, uh, you should try this, and you trust your inner circle and your friends who are more than friends, they're extended family. And so you're just like, okay, if they feel like I can do it, I'm gonna try it. Um, and over time, it became um, like a second nature. And the longer I've been in the community, I've been feeling community, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. This is in 2018 though, right?
Yes.
So like, here we are, we're going into 8 years later. So,
Yeah.
well, okay. So is Leatherman of Color your first title?
Yes, it is. It's not the first one I ran for, but it is my first title.
Okay. So how many times did you run for a title?
If you include IML3.
Okay, so that's me. I ran for Mr. Texas, got Mr. All Single, IML3. Okay. Um, but I started my journey at the beginning. Like being a title holder was my beginning. So
Mm.
what I always find it interesting that when people that are very experienced in the community decide to run for a title, that always fascinates me because like I didn't have experience. And so I'm like, what was the moment that was like, I'm ready to do this? Like what made you feel ready?
Um, the very Actually, the funny thing is, both times I ran for a title, I personally knew the producers.
Mm,
Like, they were friends, they were family. So I trusted that they wouldn't um, wouldn't mistreat me.
yeah.
Um, and I studied. I'm a nerd and a neurodivergent, so I studied what it meant to be a title holder.
Okay.
Um, so, um, to be honest, when it came to Leatherman of Color, I started preparing a year and a half in advance. I started getting my looks together.
Okay.
Uh, I started prior to the competition. I did 3 or 4 mock interviews with various people in the community, um, and I did several mocks before IML. So it it was a process.
Did you feel prepared by doing all that? Because not, that the thing, some let's take Mid Atlantic Leather title. Like they win in January and they go to IML in May. Like there's no, you know what I'm saying? It's just interesting that I wish I would have had more time to get ready. I had like 6 months.
Oh, I had less.
Okay.
Um, uh, Leatherman of Color was in February. I IML is in May. Um, and so preparing early helped me. Um, but I also deal with like anxiety and depression. And so I did feel a little inadequacy. Um, but I will say, uh, number one, I knew I was prepared because, prime example, when I won Leatherman of Color, I think um, my percentage was either 95 or 98. And when you run against yourself, you at least need 70%.
Okay. So you ran against yourself?
Hmm.
Were you nervous about that?
Oh, hell yeah. One of the reasons I was nervous, a lot of people don't know, is that 6 weeks prior to my competition, I had major surgery.
Mhm.
Um, in January 4th, I ended up contracting Mercer. And so I had like a baseball size infection that they took out of my behind. Um, and then 6 weeks later, I ran for Leatherman of Color.
Were you recovered?
Physically, yes. Emotionally, not really. Because I still was having like some health issues and from the surgery where like I had a couple of uh, bumps um, to still pop up. And so I really wasn't fully, no other way to say it, I wasn't fully prepared um, emotionally for IML. Um, just because like I wasn't sure how well I would look for in a job.
So you were in your head?
Oh, and if I'm going to be very honest, uh, part of the reason I was in my head was when the top 20 was announced and I wasn't in the top 20. And I'm like, oh, so you made it? Hmm, okay. Hmm. But I thought I did better than you
So you felt there were people that got it that you felt you performed better.
to an extent. Yes. Well, no, I'm a, I'm gonna keep it real. Yes.
Okay.
Um,
This
and
but
it's,
this is okay. I'm just going to say we're going into this conversation and you're expressing your true feelings. So,
and, and it's not just like showing up like physically and performing. Uh, I felt like just as a person, I did not feel like I felt like I gave my all, I gave my best. And so when what you thought was your best did not feel like other people saw you, that was, and I felt like I was a nice enough person during my reign. I mean, during my time at IML. And um, I knew the sacrifices I made. So
did you express those sacrifices to the judges in your interview?
that was hindsight. That was one of those things that I did not do. But if I'm going to be honest, because of some of my mental wellness things, I have issues with trust and I don't want to overshare.
But so, and I guess being a part of IML, but not even thinking about IML, but even think about just like how reality television works. Like, you have to reveal things sometimes because people don't know. Like, and it's hard to, I mean, and I look, for me, well, I'm different. I think there would have been people in your spot, in your position, that would have used your health issues as a leg up or for sympathy. And you're telling me you kept all of that to yourself. And you have to look at yourself as a person, first of all. You decided that your health issues and what's going on wasn't going to be your narrative. Okay. That was your personal choice. But I am telling you that the people that would have been in your position that would have did that would have used that. And I'm not going to say that happened in my class, but there were things that happened to some of my brothers right before the competition, that they had to go through that in their head and they could not express that. So, you can't, we don't ever know what these judges are looking for. You know what I'm saying? And
And
I don't think you can ever really predict, because I don't think that any top three panel has gone, since I've gone to, the past few years, has been what people thought or were whispering or buzzing around. People thought were telling me I was going to make podium when I did it. I didn't come anywhere close.
and and I think that was my big thing. Like when your other siblings like, oh, you're gonna make it. Of course you're gonna make it. And then you don't make it. It's like, well, damn. Like, especially when sometimes I live in my head, I'm like, well, what could I have done differently? And I am the person that does not like to use my life as a crutch, like the things that have happened to me as a crutch, because I think that's something that we do where our narrative is the bad things that have happened. And I, because in life I've been judged by the things that have happened to me, by some of the things that have said, I don't want to show up that way where people are only looking at um, what has happened without asking me the questions to get to know me.
So this is the thing, though, and I'm gonna push back with you a little bit about here, is that you don't have much time to show who you are on that stage. You got 8 minutes for interviews, and then you walk them like, it, it's a tall order if you're not like. I never fully thought out like what I was going to do on the stage when I got on stage. I didn't. There were so many things, that pieces that I didn't realize. Like, shit. Like, if I maybe I should have stretched for 6 months so I could do a split on stage. Like, is it the split? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I have seen in the past three IMLs that splits seem to get you. And I'm not trying to hate on him. Some of my people I love did the splits, and so this is not. I'm not naming names, but stage present, how comfortable were you on stage? I wasn't very comfortable on stage. I think that showed. I don't think that I performed. I didn't think I was going to get as low as I got, but I was not ready to present myself to the leather community, the kink. I was not ready, but I got on stage as ready as I could be. But I took my experience from IML as a launch pad and an opportunity to show that the reason I wanted to be in this community was a long term commitment to being here, showing up, and that I wasn't going to go anywhere. I have not gone anywhere. I only get stronger. My momentum keeps growing. I'm still riding on my IML 46 experience.
Well,
And Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing. Like, um, it only broke me for a little bit. But that was also due to like some of the life things that happened. So, after IML, um, I was laid off for 3.5 months.
Was it because of your illness?
No, it was just the job decided to change the position and they let me go. Um, I say it's budget reasons, but they may say otherwise. Um,
People are
and so,
Companies aren't always upfront and very honest sometimes when they let people go, and that's true. Like there are conversations that are usually had, and they try to come up with the best way to not get sued.
yes. So, like, I think that was also something that went through my head, like all the good, bad, and ugly that went through. It just was overwhelming. And so, what I will say is that I had several siblings on my a part of my IML class that, in spite of, have helped me to say, okay, how am I going to continue the wave? And I say it's like a track race. So, or a marathon where when you feel like you're going to give up, several of my siblings have given me that water where I'm going to keep going and keep moving.
So what did you want to stand? What do you like? What was your message? Like what did you come to IML to say? You know, what was your message?
So, I am a tall, dark skinned um, black man
A handsome
who,
man, okay? A handsome black man.
thank you, um, make me blush, why don't you? Um, but I dealt with, um, I call it my top starting five, where anxiety, depression, PTSD, um, ADHD, and bipolar.
You have all the
Um, mhm. I've been diagnosed with all of five.
okay.
Um, I've
Bipolar.
I've
Uh,
also am a definite neurodivergent and a geek and nerd.
you say neurodivergent.
Uh,
Are you autistic?
I'm sure I just haven't been diagnosed.
Mm.
And so dealing,
I mean, yeah, like you should, because I mean, people are finding out they're autistic left and right.
and I feel like I'm going to get like check it out, but like I wanted to do it for someone like me. Um, Social anxiety sometimes, and um, I did what I didn't think I could do. So I was okay with not winning. I was eventually okay with people scoring higher than me. But one thing that I've taught to people who run for big competitions is understanding that a win is a win. And so even if you don't win the major title, you're still a winner, baby.
Of course, every person that steps on that stage is already a winner. That's true. It's a
But
contest of winners.
but like that's something that, oh God, sorry, stupid people and do not disturb is not working. Um, so that's something that people do not talk about. Like, what happens when you don't win?
You know, I think that they try. I think that
So I will say it like this: people like yourself. people like Chris and other people showed showed us uh, 48 and embraced us when we did not make the top 20 and gave us the love that we needed at that moment. And that's what also helped why I did not have as big of a drop from the contest as some people do. Um, and it's, you know, how it's really a family once you get the medallion. And there are people who I still keep in contact with when I see them at other events. I'm like, oh, we didn't connect at IML, but you're my sibling. And I know that for a fact, I feel better because I got love from you after the contest is over with. Because
Oh, look,
that's something.
I know what it is to not get top 20 and go to the back of the stage and start getting in your head and wondering what your future is going to be. And I said, okay, like I am going to not like this is not it. Like what am I going to do? So I did not give myself an opportunity to let event drop get to me. I just started running once I was like I don't want to lose this momentum and just I just, it was in my head. It was like, I just want to prove to everyone that I'm the real deal. That's all I could think about. I just wanted people to know that I was here. I want to do the work and like, I'm going to be somebody. And maybe when I walked away, that contest, but then next year I got to be, Mufasa invited me to be on the POC caucus. And now he's letting me do the POC caucus for this next IML. So like you just never know like how losing can maybe turn out to be winning in some ways.
Well,
Um
that's why I said when you win, you win.
yeah, you know, it's hard. It's not easy. And especially when you're dealing with so many different mental health issues. Did you discuss any of this in your interview?
It was in my bio. Um, but that isn't like the things that they focused on. At least I don't feel like they focused on. So like some of the questions was asked was like because I'm a church kid and my father was a pastor at the time and being a part of the black church and you're not open to your family.
Yeah.
So those questions was asked. Um, and so I was okay with them not focusing on that. Um, I'm just learning like you have to roll with the punches no matter how hard the punches feel. And, you know, being on the spectrum, dealing with all the things, um, does not define me. Just like I love being a part of Onyx and volunteering in the community, but I tell people Onyx is only a page in my leather journey, in my kink journey.
Yeah.
It is not the whole book.
Mhm. No, I get it.
And IML is a page. It's not the whole book. And if
You have to look at it that way. You have to. It's not the look. I have leather siblings that just cannot handle not making top 20 and maybe a little bitterness, but what do I want to say here? I wish all of my siblings that have decided to distance themselves
mhm.
from the IML siblinghood that we have and distance themselves from the leather community because they did not get the outcome that they wanted.
Well, here's the thing. If you use a title to if you use a title to make, oh, this is what your experience look like, then you just look good in your leather.
Mm. And look,
Um,
that's all it is to some people is looking good in leather. Because I can point to you many people that I'm like, I don't know what this person does. Oh
how,
well, people can just ask me and I'll tell you. I'm
how,
not,
however,
I'm known for saying speaking my mind and being direct and saying the truth. So this is it. We're towards the end, and I asked everybody the same question. And that question is, what is aspect of our community that you feel that we are not shedding enough light on?
um, there's two. The first one is, I would say, mentorship, partly because those of the past do not um, pull someone else up from the future or the present. But you have those of the present who's not leaning on those from the past. The second one is you have someone like myself who deals with his um, mental wellness, which is how I call it. They deal with their mental wellness, but they won't share the things they're going through.
Yeah, yeah.
And so at the end of the day, I'm always going to let someone know, hey, these are my starting five. And I feel like I got one sitting on the bench ready to get up.
Mhm.
Uh, but they don't define me. They're just a part of me.
Yes, yes. So, before we end, I just want to say that this has been a very like unique interview in the terms of just talking about how we feel and how we think about things. I think it's important to be honest, and I think you were very honest about your experience and how you feel. I hope that you are going to. I really, and I'm rooting for you. I'm really hoping that you can take things like mental health and really run with that and continue. Look, people will tell you, I show, especially on social media, I'll show you my up downs and all arounds. I show you when I'm happy, when I'm sad. It's healthy to go through emotions and don't let anybody tell you different, but we need to have more conversations like this and just listen to each other and how we feel and how things affect us, because you're not the only one that feels that way. And I will tell you, in 145 interviews, um, I don't think we've quite just had a conversation like this, where we talk about what we thought and what really happened, or our expectations, but what we're going through outside of the competition. People are carrying burdens, and some can be heavier than others. Um, I think and I implore you and I hope that you take your journey and you continue and you don't hide these things from people, because someone's going through what you're going through. And if we can bond on that and be a support system for each other, we can normalize having these conversations and making each other feel like, you know what, I have anxiety. This is what's going to cause my anxiety. Um, but we don't have, especially right now with things going downhill with the administration in terms of like taking care of us mentally. It's more important now than other, because we're going to have to be our mental health counselors. You know what I'm saying? We got
Hmm.
and accept our feelings and our emotions, say them out loud, say them to other people, and it's my duty, it's other people to listen, process, and relate. And we miss the relate piece a lot. Do you agree with me?
Absolutely. Um, and so that's something I am working on. The The difference is I am working on not doing that just publicly, but also privately. So when I went to NAB, there was a pup who was dealing with some things, and I I tell people I treat you like somebody big mama. So come lay your head on my bosom. Let me give you a hug, baby. Let me make you feel. Let me make sure you're good.
My grandmother used to pull a $20 out of her fucking titties and give us money before we went out to the house. No, I know. I used to think there was a bank in my grandmother's boobs.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But like we don't do that enough in the community. And I would say like one of my siblings, I was having the worst day that Thursday, and his name is Connor
I know,
from Ohio,
I know, Connor.
and
I was just chatting with him yesterday.
Connor is an amazing individual, and he just was like, "How are you?" And he was like, "Can I give you a hug?" And gave me the biggest hug. And him and a couple of other people would see me and love on me, and I loved on them back. And that's something we only tend to do when there's a camera on us.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a phenomenal episode. I am going to see you in a couple of months, right?
Yes.
All right. I want to thank you again for doing this episode. I look forward to seeing you. I hope that we can keep these conversations going. Thank you so much for being here on Throwing Light. There's one thing you have to do before we leave.
Oh, baby, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Say it one more time.
If you're not throwing light, you're not acting right.
Baby, if you're not throwing light, you ain't acting right.
Right. Put that sass in there. I felt that. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Throwing Light. Thank you again, Legendary. We're out.